Howdy folks, and welcome back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, episode 9 of season 7, as I have always been. Last episode, the biggest thing, of course, is we've got the yo-yo upgrade. She's no longer yo-yo, she's now yo? Exclamation mark. Yo! That's cool, she doesn't have to bounce back, and she thinks she always didn't have to, and it was something, maybe a nervousness about going all the way or something. Literally going all the way, that always brought her back before, maybe, and she just didn't think she could go fast and stay where she was, but she figured it out. And so she's there now, so she's no longer yo-yo, she's now yo. In my mind, at least. And a lot of the episode was spent with Daisy's mom, so it was great to see her again. Unfortunately, Malik now has access to a bunch of Inhumans, and potentially screwed up this timeline again. Made a new timeline. I understand that's how Marvel works. At least that's how the MCU works. Not that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show needs to follow the same rules anymore, but anyway, let's just assume it does. That it's created splintering timelines, kind of like was explained to Hulk on the rooftop. I'm not going to say more than that in case you haven't seen that movie. But very similar to that, it's creating a bunch of threads, forks, whatever. And I've mentioned before about, I wonder how they're going to restore the timeline. What I really mean by that is how are they going to get back to their timeline, assuming they want to get back to their timeline. They're lost in some sort of, are they following the last fork that was created? Is that the way they're when they jump? Is that where they're going, or do they jump back on their main timeline into another? No, they can't, because young Malik was still alive when they jump, so they're following their forks, basically. Every time they create a fork, they're following that fork. So how are they going to get back to the main... You can't see what I'm gesturing with my hands. How are they going to get back to the main branch? The main timeline. That's my concern. So Daisy... So not only does Malik have access to a bunch of Inhumans, he also has access to Daisy's younger sister. No, older sister. Sorry. I was thinking earlier. She came earlier. For some reason, that translated to younger in my head. Older sister, and I wonder if that's going to play at all, if she's ever going to find out that they're related, because we believe they're both daughters, biological daughters, even if they're not biological daughters. If she's not using some sort of a symbolic meaning of daughter when she calls her daughter, and she's adopted or biological, she's still going to be Daisy's sister in some way. So, and I guess you could say metaphorically she's also her sister, right? She's an Inhuman, so we can go that route too. Wonder if that's going to come up. So it's going to be very interesting to see where they go next, because they had 2 episodes in the 80s. So where are they going now? Let's find out together, shall we? We still got Daisy recovering. Sure it is. Oh yeah, and this part completely forgot to mention this in my recap. Now I mentioned it at the end of the last episode, but the whole Coulson thing, getting a little burned out, a little depressed, a little lost in who he is. And, at least asking Simmons if he could at least have the power to turn himself off, so that he has a little more control over his life. I wonder where that's going to go. I'd hate for it to go to us losing Coulson again. If that's the case, we'll have 3 seasons in a row 3 seasons in a row, right? 3 seasons in a row where we lost a Coulson. If it's not Coulson, the last one it was Sarge, but 3 seasons in a row where it leads up to Coulson going away. Don't do that, S.H.I.E.L.D. Come on. Daisy, yay, she's awake. Is she really awake? Is she dreaming? She's awake, okay.
That?
And what is that? Sort of wormhole? Looks like it. Same logo pretty much as last time. Not exactly, but close. I see the cologne or the perfume or whatever. I guess it's for men, so that's cologne. Sitting in the drawer. Is there something else in here I'm supposed to be saying? I see a weapon. I see tape, medical supplies, gauze. I see a Rubik's Cube. I think it's just the whole cologne that we're supposed to see. And why does that matter? Why are they showing it to us? Popular Mechanics? Is that what that magazine is? I don't know. I guess hopefully we'll find out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Time drive. Going nuts.
Is that supposed
Are we doing this trope? Are we doing the Groundhog Day trope? Every sci-fi show has to have the Groundhog Day trope. In case you didn't know, that's a rule, apparently. Yeah, we are. All I can say is, S.H.I.E.L.D., please don't disappoint me. A lot of almost every sci-fi show does the Groundhog loop, the Groundhog trope. Groundhog Day. Please don't disappoint me, because a lot of them do it horribly. A lot of them, it's like, why did you waste my time with this episode? I don't want S.H.I.E.L.D. to be that way. Let's see. They haven't disappointed me yet. Every time I get nervous about an episode of S.H.I.E.L.D., it turns out to be one of my favorites. So let's watch and see. Usually in the Groundhog Day trope, somebody remembers the loop. Is it going to be Daisy? It looks like it's going to be Daisy. Yep, because she's not saying the same things. They were all saying the same thing. She's not. Oh, we're getting the title sequence again? Are they going to repeat the title sequence every time? That would be kind of funny and kind of cool at the same time. I hope they do.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, so she saved Mac this time.
I do know that Simmons is working.
You gonna wake him up? Yeah. Oh no, it's roaring. Maybe she'll remember to wake him up earlier next time. This time, let him sleep, huh? Yep, she wants Coulson.
How long did it take you to figure it out this time?
Oh, we haven't seen them all. She isn't on the third loop. I kind of got that impression on the first time she woke up when she kind of reacted like she'd maybe done it before, but she still had reaction to it all. Like she wasn't really on top of it. But it looks like even if the first one was the first one, each of these that we're seeing we're missing several in between. Because Coulson's already been awoken before. And he's remembering just like her, which is cool. Because that's another part of the trope. Usually somebody remembers, because that's Groundhog Day, right? That's the movie. That's the whole premise. There's one guy remembers, nobody else does. But often in sci-fi shows, they usually have a partner. Somebody else who gets in on it and starts understanding that they're looping and is also looping. So it looks like in this case it's going to be Daisy and Coulson. Coulson bot. Cool.
Loop 87 times, or
I
should say 87 that I know about.
87 that he knows about, right.
Power me up every time.
Will she remember that last instruction? To wake him up? Will she go straight there? She did, okay. She just gave him a quick warning and went in there. Okay, so maybe they'll mention this, but if he's been telling her every time, but she's remembering here what they were just talking about, that kind of implies that the death when she dies, because he said, you must have died again, meaning she had no memory. So if she dies, she resets. She loses all the memory of the previous loops. But if she stays alive and it's just that the engine, restarts the loop, she remembers everything. Okay, I think that's what's going on.
Numbers. You really are behind.
What numbers? Uh-oh.
79 kilometers. Thanks for asking.
Oh, they're getting closer and closer. That's the numbers.
We're 65 kilometers away from the vortex.
She has to repeat that conversation all the time, though. That's the problem. She has just like minutes, apparently. Like 5 minutes? No, like 4 minutes or less. And she's going to have to... These guys don't remember. And that's another one of the parts of the trope is whoever's repeating tries to get other people who don't remember up to speed, and then just finally eventually ends up not bothering.
I'm fucking your memory.
Uh-oh.
Like something you should
cool.
About.
You guys followed me?
Now these two know about it, so they will remember.
We don't have time for Only I can enter authorization.
They seem to have a lot more time, this loop, than they've had before. Otherwise, they've just been compressing everything. I guess they've just been compressing everything, because it seems like it's been at least like 10 minutes now. I mean, I'm totally rough guessing, because you can't really tell, right? Oh, no. It's a built-in... Yeah, it's a built-in safety measure. She can't take out her own implant. It makes her not able to do it. Oh, no. So somebody's going to have to do it, and the only person who could do it would probably be our favorite Chronicom? Well, they're going to loop, so that isn't real. We don't have to worry about it. There we go. I feel bad for people who were emotionally invested in that death, because that would be horrible if that was real, so suddenly like that. But we know it's going to loop. So far, I don't think anything's going to really emotionally get me unless it's in the final loop. Oh, it's a gas. It's not a failsafe on the actual device. It's in the room. She must have set the... Yeah, she must have set the failsafe up herself. Simmons must have. Did she set up a failsafe where in the room, knowing that would be the room she'd go into to do this, and if it detected that she was doing it, if she entered the code in that device, maybe it sent a signal. Was she that prepared to protect Fitz to the point where she set up her own death if she were to somehow be convinced or made to remove the implant? Is that what's going on here? And I do feel sorry for Deke watching his grandma die each time. It's brand new for him, but again, it's resetting. So I don't know. I don't have the emotional gut punch that I would have.
As though it was made with a knife.
No, okay. So Enoch says this wasn't something that was set up as like a time delay or a signal. Somebody cut it. And they must have recently cut it. Okay, so we can exclude Daisy and Simmons from the murder suspect list, I imagine, unless Simmons is somehow, again, maybe it is a failsafe and she's subconsciously sabotaging the gas line, and in doing so, killing herself because it's a failsafe. That's a possibility. But if it's somebody on the ship, Enoch, maybe a program in Enoch to do it. If this happens and he's not aware of it either, because I can't think of anybody on this ship who would consciously, willingly kill members of the crew. I can't imagine that. Even if there's some greater purpose, if there is some greater purpose, it's the two that remember the loop don't seem to have any clue. I mean, Daisy basically put herself in there, so she wouldn't have done it if she remembered the loop and she was doing this for some other reason. So maybe Coulsonbot is doing it, but you would think he would just tell Daisy that this won't work and then to not do it. What's going on? It is a bit of a mystery. Oh, this time she woke him up again. Oh, she died! Of course. As I said before, when she dies, she forgets everything and starts to loop again. So now, Coulson's going to be so frustrated when she wakes him up, when she realizes finally.
Wait,
it didn't open.
Again?
I know this is upsetting for you, but I really just want to get back to the part where we're solving this again. Not to minimize your pain.
Yeah.
Fair.
You didn't happen to...
We're obvious suspects. So you know the implant.
Wait, what did I...
Answers elsewhere.
We'll work on the time travel.
I'm still thinking it might actually be a subconscious act by Coulsonbot. I don't think it's Enoch. I definitely don't think it's Deke. I don't think he was definitely shaken by the death of his grandmother there, so I don't think he'd do that on purpose. And I don't think he could subconsciously be made to do it. Now, things with computers for brains here, Coulsonbot and Enoch, they theoretically could be doing it without realizing they're doing it. Just don't think Enoch would, so I'm still thinking it's Coulsonbot.
Let's get it over with before I change my mind.
Pick a different room this time. Pick a different room.
So you're saying we've tried this a couple...
You should be resting. What are you...
Wait a minute. Daisy's right to have that expression. The cologne is out of the drawer. Deke's cologne is out of the drawer now. But if she started this loop knowing what would happen, that means they would have never had Mac be injured and Mac go in there and Simmons say, I have something here, and open the drawer and find it. What made her open the drawer and take it out? Oh no. Oh no. I don't even know what I'm thinking right now, so I don't want to talk about it. Let's just watch.
What are you doing out of that bed?
I'm thinking more horrible things about Simmons.
Hey, Susan!
Oh, wow. You know he's alive. Don't worry. Move on. Yeah, don't involve him. Be quiet like last time. Let him survive. Yeah, I know. I know what all you people who think that they're trying to force Daisy and Sousa into a romantic relationship are saying now. It's see ya. See? Told you. See? Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right.
We have a soul.
Don't talk like that again.
This part's emotionally, because he remembers and he's seeing it all. This part, wow. I'm tearing up a little bit.
Of course you
I
have.
was max headroom for a year, and you know what? Being trapped in a time.
You want a natural time span, natural lifespan? Yeah.
I have programming.
Enoch, I don't want this.
Oh, it was Enoch.
You programmed me.
Hurry. You don't have much time. Take the implant out. He doesn't remember, does he?
Oh dear.
Oh, he does.
Just
I like how they've drafted Sousa to do this.
You have been with us long enough now.
Well, stealth didn't work.
Now, wait a minute. The presumption is that Enoch is killing Daisy? I guess he's not. He can't be killing her, right? I guess he's just fighting them long enough for the loop to reset. But the cut implies that he's like causing severe damage and theoretically killing her, and then they reset. I guess they're just skipping that part. So it's just they run out of time. They can't fight him anymore, or they do fight him and the time runs out. But Daisy has to be smart about this and not fight him, basically. Because if she fights him, she might die, and then she loses all her memory and everything gets reset. So, tricky.
He did not see the irony.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
That's not the law.
He's taking them all out. I love it.
Dake's dead, and I'm running out of ways to save us all.
So they're going to have one of these loops where Daisy just takes the time for herself and ends up
There's no time.
doing something romantic with Sousa, right? This might be the one.
There's...
Yep. She's taking the loop. So this is going to be the one.
That is awfully specific.
Okay, so how's he not going to... They knew that he was listening. How is he going to react here?
Agent Sousa.
Oh, come on!
Next time, same thing, but faster.
Yeah, in other words, don't have the conversation with Sousa. But at least she remembers it now. Quick.
I need you to do
You
something.
don't have time for this. Oh, okay.
of course.
Aw. You gotta keep moving, though.
What can I do?
Poor Sousa.
Wait here. I'll go set up the procedure.
Ouch. Okay, so they got it out. Is she gonna remember what they need to know?
It would be like removing a human being's heart.
Oh, no. Yeah, she'd have to kill him.
Taking it, I would kill him.
And then it'd stop the loop and he'd be dead. They might lose somebody here.
Gemma, what is it? What is it?
Oh, we're not going to know what she's remembering. It's horrific. And I think the only thing she'd react that way about is Fitz. I think Fitz isn't gone. I take it back. I think Fitz is gone. I think she's done something that hurt Fitz or killed Fitz. I think that's why she would react that way. Right? I mean, what else would cause her to react that way? It's hurting or killing Fitz. Or allowing Fitz to be hurt or killed. That would cause Simmons to react that way. Of course. She remembers Simmons' reaction, her tears. That would have been tough to remember.
I need you to come with me.
Yeah, this is the last time if they're that close. Or may very well be the last time.
And the rest of you will live.
And this one will be real. He will.
I would like to think Fitz
He will die.
would do the same for me. I would like to think all of you would.
I really like this guy, man. That really does hurt. He's been so awesome since he joined in season 5? Is that right? Yeah. The end of 4, I think, right? When they took him into space. Man. Oh, this is tough. This one is tough because it's going to stick. We think. Now, they said this time there is a risk, which implies there is a possible out. But the way they're building it up doesn't sound like they're going to let him out. And they're almost done with the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, yeah, if he had to go, this would be the time. Yeah, season-wise, schedule-wise, episode-wise. So, all right, let's see what happens. He's so good, man. He really does love them. Like he said, they're his friends. They become his friends. Fitz is his best friend, So, I can imagine how emotional this scene would have been if the actor who plays Fitz would have been able to be here and was saying goodbye to him. Hurry.
We'll let you know. Shouldn't you get to the command center for the jump?
They'll be fine without us.
They're not going to leave their friend.
And I will have to do that alone, and I can't help wondering when that happens.
That he's been through this with watching friends leave. They're all his friends. His best friend is Fitz. Maybe Gemma did do something that led to Fitz dying, and maybe Enoch is aware of it. And since his memory isn't in jeopardy of being stolen, or he doesn't know where. Well, I don't. Again, if Fitz is dead, then it's not like they're really keeping the secret of where he is. Maybe the implant was put in her head by Enoch and her to allow her to forget what she did to Fitz and what happened to Fitz, and created a false memory that she is protecting him because he's hidden somewhere. And maybe he's got nothing to do with this. Maybe he really is gone. Wow. And maybe Enoch actually is remembering that he witnessed that, I don't know if you can tell on this camera. The web camera's not that great, but my eyes are just filled right now with water. This is an emotional scene. All right, let's finish.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, this is therapy for Coulson Bot too. Wow. Fitz. It is Fitz.
He was my best friend.
He was my best friend.
And you were.
Since he died, is he gonna melt away, evaporate, or is that a Hunter thing? Oh wow. Enoch. The fact that he said he was my best friend, and they didn't blink at that expression because they were thinking more of, he's talking about the fact that he's dying, so he was my best friend. But I think it really is more evidence to the fact that Fitz is gone. Fitz is dead. And I think that memory device was to prevent Simmons from remembering, because you saw how she broke down when she realized what she had done, which I think is related to Fitz dying. He had seen the future, so when they came back to rescue May at the end of last season, and earlier in this season, when Enoch says that Simmons has been away for a long time, and they asked how long, he said a long time, or whatever it was, a significant time, whatever he said. We get the impression that she didn't go somewhere, that she really was from the future, that this Simmons really is from the future. Couple of years, well, though if Enoch says it's a long time, it's probably a very long time, which does raise the question again of why Simmons looks basically as old as she did earlier in season 6. Wow, this just raises so many questions and makes me wonder about so many things about what happened to Fitz, where Simmons was, how far in the future these people came, Simmons, Enoch came from, and what happened to Fitz. And man, It makes total sense this late in the final season that they're going to start. It sounds kind of cold, killing off characters, but wow, they did it in a way with Enoch that I did not anticipate, and very moving way, very, very moving way. And I really enjoyed that. Now we got a final scene, so let's see what happens. Oh, come on. It's such a perfect episode. We didn't need this guy.
Dangerous.
I know they have to set this up because they're now the big threat, but
Good.
dang it. Okay, so that is an interesting setup. I was a little frustrated, as you can imagine, after such an emotional ending, to go, feeling family and friendship and sadness and stuff, to go straight to this guy, this jerk. He is supposed to be a jerk, though. But it is an interesting setup there. When he said your little sister, she kind of had this expression, but it wasn't an expression of, what do you mean, I have a sister? So obviously he's told her already. And that means they are going to have that sister on sister. That is going to happen between the two of them at some point. Wow. I don't know what else I can add to this one, because I like the format now, and I know that there are some reaction purists who hate people who pause videos while they're reacting to them, but I'm sorry, I'm going to do that. Because I want to tell you guys at the time, because I don't trust my memory. And I'm not going to sit here and take notes. I don't trust my memory to remember everything the way what I was feeling at the time, what I was thinking at the time through the course of the episode. So I like to, when I have something to say about what I'm thinking, I want to pause it and I want to tell you what I'm thinking, and process it then, so I don't forget about it. And I hope that's okay. And honestly, be completely brutally honest, even if it's not okay with you, I'm still going to do it that way, because I got to do what I got to do. I got to do what works for me. But the end result of that is I come to the end of the episode and I've already said everything, and all I do is basically recap what I've said during all of the pauses where I've talked about what I was thinking and what I was feeling. The only thing I can really add at the end is discussion about the final scene for S.H.I.E.L.D. And like I said, I've already kind of talked about that. Malik is refining her powers, helping her control them, which I guess he had to go through that himself. But then you have to ask the question, her mother went through that with so many Inhumans. How come she couldn't help her control her power? Maybe it was because she was her mother, I guess. But so we've got a powerful Firequake versus Quake coming up, which is, it's going to be good to see. I'm really sad Enoch is gone, but like I said, we're so close to the end now. That kind of made sense. And I think we've lost Fitz too. I think that this episode gave us 3 really strong hints that we've already lost Fitz. Now, I think we'll see that at some point, because I think he's going to come back. The actor, come on, we can't not see him, even if it's for a very brief scene. So we may end up seeing how he left us, but I think he's gone. I really do. I think he's dead. And I think I think Simmons is going to have to, we already got a dose of the emotion of her remembering that. And I'm going with that thought. I'm going with it is that she remembers that she either did something that led to his death, or she had to kill him or something. But she's remembering it, and it's just horrific for her. And she can't handle it, which is, I think, why the implant was put in there. It wasn't to protect Fitz. I don't think that's got anything to do with it. I think I don't think Fitz is telling them, like she said, is controlling where they go. I think, again, that's a false memory that was implanted to protect her, to think that Fitz is still alive somewhere, but she can't remember, and she can't allow herself to remember, or else the enemy will know. That is a great false memory to put in there for her, because then she'll never want to remove the implant, and she'll never want to try to find him. But she'll always think that he's around. And that's almost the best thing that a good friend like Enoch could have done. And I think that he may have done it without her knowledge. But even if she was part of it, I think that's kind of the best thing you could do for her, if it was that, and it has to be that emotional for her. I mean, you saw the reaction that she had. That was the way to save her emotionally and mentally. and maybe prevent her from killing herself. I don't know what, how bad she would have gotten there. But I think that's why the implant was put in there, and I think Fitz is gone. So indirectly, we know we've lost Fitz, in my head at least, and we definitely just lost Enoch. And I get the feeling we're going to lose Coulson again. Although, like I said, maybe we don't. Maybe Coulson's right that he does outlive them all. And I think it's helped him quite a bit with Enoch's death at that scene where Simmons and Enoch was talking about it, and he was coming to the realization that if they can feel this way about Enoch, who is an artificial life form, and consider him a friend and weep at his loss, then what does that make him? Yeah, he's not the biological Coulson, but he's still a living being. He's still a person. He still matters. People still love him, So that's going to have a lot to do with it, I think, with his sanity and longevity. I think that helped him quite a bit. I guess I do want to talk a little bit about the Simmons and Sousa. I don't know that I object to it. I never really objected to it. I just thought that people were on the wrong track. I thought that they were really setting them up as just being really good friends, comrades in arms, partners. Because as he was even talking about, people who run into the wall need somebody to pick them up from the wall. I thought, basically he was describing that partner relationship that I was talking about at first. But I think they really are going the romantic route, and it doesn't feel too awkward. A lot of people are saying there's no chemistry. I don't know. It doesn't feel that bad, especially these scenes in this episode. I think they really helped build up that chemistry, build up that potential, and that made it not seem dumb. That's the best way to put it. So I don't know that I'm not that upset about it. Now, he doesn't remember. Clearly, she does. She remembers him explaining why he was there at her bedside, and she remembers kissing him and all of that, but he doesn't remember it. I don't think. The kiss wasn't in the last loop, was it? Pretty sure it was not. Somebody will correct me if it was. So it's going to be interesting. It's very much a if you watched Babylon 5, it's very much a John and Delenn sort of thing, where I can't remember now. It's been so long. One of them knows that they eventually fall in love with and are together with. Oh, John knows. John learns because there's that scene. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a similar situation where he knows that they end up in a relationship, and because he travels forward in time and sees it, and then comes back, and now he knows that they have a romantic future, and she doesn't. It's a similar thing here, but it's reversed. She knows they have a romantic potential, and I think he knows that he has feelings for her, but he doesn't know that he's expressed those, and he doesn't know that she's acted on those, and so forth. So it's going to be interesting to see, and I like that kind of stuff. I'm a shipper. I'm sorry, I'm a diehard shipper. You gotta bear with me on that. So I'm looking forward to that. I guess I did have a lot of stuff to talk about at the end of the episode. So anyway, guys, let me know what you thought. I'm really excited for the end of this. I'm not excited that it's going to be the end, but I'm excited that the end is coming, and I want to see what they have for us for the show. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.